If you are a fan of any other NHL team not called the Edmonton Oilers, you have been put on notice. If you are an NHL team not wearing Oilers colors, you are on notice. The juggernaut and sleeping dragon of offense has woken up. They dispatched the Dallas Stars in Game 6. They do it through their big guys in the series, but in Game 6, it was all the depth. That makes this even scarier if you are anybody else. Join me on this as I talk about the Edmonton Oilers, the LA Kings final game, and we talk about what makes the Oilers so special and why everybody should be absolutely terrified of this offensive juggernaut. First off, in this series, they were down 2-0. The goaltending woes are well documented. I'm not picking on Pickard. He's a phenomenal story. This is what sports journalists live for. Back from the AHL, carrying a team through the playoffs, a backup replacing a starter, and igniting a spark for a team. Well done, Pickard. Well done, Knobloch, for being able to make that change. The series really was dominated. Though, by the Edmonton Oilers' sheer will to play in the middle of the ice. They skated back harder than any team I've seen in the playoffs. They put life and limb in front of pucks. They controlled pucks in the offensive, defensive, and neutral zone and did not create turnovers because every time they created a turnover, the puck was in the back of their net. They played team defense through offense. That is something you can do. Very hard to get scored on when the puck is on your stick. And every time they were down, and this is the hallmark of a great team, they came back. Even when they lost, they came back in Game 1. So if you have that battle back and that resolve and you are able to carve your teeth and get hot at the right time like the Oilers just did with the Kings, well, Western Conference, you're on notice. They're going to match up with the Vegas Golden Knights who squeaked through the Minnesota Wild. And it's no disrespect to the Wild. They played very well, but they are a counter-punching team that stays in their D zone, waits for a mistake, and tries to turn it over for a goal. And Vegas almost got dispatched. It was close. I know it was in 6 games, but a bunch of those were overtime. The offensive powerhouse that is Edmonton should match up very well against Vegas. Vegas's defense have not been playing the way Vegas's defense need to play. So those big four on the back end, they're going to have to rest and find something down deep if they want to beat these Oilers. Goal 1, Henrique, Brown, Frederick. Zone entry. Beautiful little bump pass. This is very unique offense, having 3 players all on the strong side here, but it's going to work. It's going to create gaps. And this is the most Oilers depth goal I've ever seen. Everybody in the Oilers plays with speed. When you practice with guys like McDavid and Draisaitl, you're going to practice on the rush. You're going to practice speed. Little bit of a drop pass here. Beautiful give and goes, tic-tac-toes, makes it through. You think this one's going to go in if you watch the game? It's not. Big save by LA. Makes sense. Very good defensively. The Oilers end up picking it up, and this is why I say it is the most Oilers depth goal of Oilers depth goal. They lose it. No big deal. Not a problem. That actually works out favorably. The shot goes in at this point, and it banks off of a bunch of players, and it finds the back of the net behind Kemper. If you're going to get puck luck and you're the Edmonton Oilers, look out, NHL. Especially depth lines like this. They can skate. They look good. They practice against the best in the world, so they learn from the best in the world. But they can clean up garbage when they need to, and they are relentless. They don't sit there and look at the sky like the Toronto Maple Leafs did in Game 5 and go, oh, poor me, I didn't score. They just go get the puck and score. No big deal. Turned it over. Didn't bounce my way. I'll do it on the second try, third try, fourth try, fifth try. The Oilers' power play as well has woken up. Take a look at this. They are trying to hold the line on them. This is very well done by LA, but nope, you're not going to hold the line against Connor McDavid. That's just the way it goes. It's quick little bump pass out here to Draisaitl in the corner. He's going to carry it low. It's quick little regroup up to the top to Bouchard. Bouchard's going to lengthen and widen the zone by moving it left here. And from here, we see really good gap. This has a threat to be a turnover, but power play players are power play players for a reason. That puck moves down low into the corner. Hyman ends up bumping out, And like he's done a million times, he corrals that puck. No matter who's on it, Hyman's going to come out without it. Moves it over to McDavid. McDavid finds a soft seam because, well, that's what McDavid does. This puck has moved around the entire offensive zone. This is very exhausting for penalty killers to do. And it's the Nuge that puts it in after that puck crosses the Royal Road. And that would be the second goal of the game. But what I loved about this for the Oilers, and another reason leagues should be on notice, is because LA scored first. And immediately, the Oilers responded immediately in the first period. Then Brandt Clarke scores again, the depth, almost right after Adam Henrique scores. And then what happens? Power play, calm, put it in. 6 minutes into the game, it's 2-2. But you know what another hallmark of a great team is? Don't go into a period tied or down. Go in with the lead. First off, I always criticize this. It works out for a goal, but I find it's worthwhile to point out on the channel. I don't like giving up the wall here. When you give up the wall, it's just an easy slap pass over here to the left. And when you're a left-handed shot and on your forehand, it makes it even easier. So yes, you get an opportunity to score when you put a guy behind you like this, but you also worry about that slap pass. Puck goes down, Edmonton wins the draw clean. And what I don't understand here, I don't know if you can see it. It's really quick. Take a look at the draw from the LA Kings. He tries to win it backwards. I would have just been slapping that to the wall. Forehand, boom, push it to the wall. Oh well, moving on. That puck ends up moving to the point. Everybody gets into the position they need to get into. Beautiful little tip in front, beats Kemper. Calvin Pickard, the man of the hour. Yep, I understand. 4 goals went in on him. It's 5-3 Edmonton right now. What does LA do? Wholesales the goalie. Yikes. But take a look at what I mean by life and limb. Every Oiler dives in front of that puck, and they freeze it. Later on in that same period, empty net. Kempe from the top. He has killed the Oilers all series. Moves it over to Kopitar. Dangerous player. Kopitar steps in. Wicked, wicked snapshot here. But take a look at Pickard saving the game for this team. Puts out his pad. This should be in the back of the net. It is not. Absolutely massive save. One more time, the Oilers keeping it out of the net. And the only criticism I would have of the Oilers is that they are going to have to figure out some way to keep pucks out of their net. Pucks go in way too easily on the Oilers. Yes, they can respond. Yes, they have a great power play. Yes, the top 3 are on fire. Yes, it is life, limbs, face, legs, and arms at pucks. Yes, they are playing with playoff intensity of a champion. They are battle-tested. I can't say enough good things about them in the last 4 games of this series. They're doing it. And you all know I'm not biased for the Oilers here. If you're new to this channel, I've got a very famous saying that I will not say in the playoffs because it'll probably end up jinxing another team that I might like that's in the background here. And I don't need the bad karma. And if the Oilers go to the finals, good for them. And good for the fans. Now, tangent over, they have to figure out team defense here. Or they have to figure out a goaltending solution. That might mean getting Stuart Skinner back in the game. It might not mean. You might want to ride the hot hand, which is Calvin Pickard. I understand it's a great feel-good story. But Skinner is supposed to be your guy. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do next series after a little bit of a break. My money is 80% on Pickard, 20% on going back to Skinner. We'll see what happens. But one of these goalies has to start holding it down to 2-3 goal games. You can't have teams that just score on you. You could put pressure against the Golden Knights, go up a goal, bang, it's in the back of your net right away. It's a killer. I don't know if you can just continue playing at this pace for 4 rounds to make up for the goalie, but the Oilers always tend to prove me wrong, so maybe they can. This is why they're likely the most exciting team in the playoffs right now. It's the Wild West of hockey. So congratulations to McDavid carrying his team over the finish line, the depth for showing up today, the goalie for figuring it out in Pickard, Bouchard for the amazing play he has had this series so far. Let's see how they do in the next round. They do have a very favorable matchup. They have the easiest path to the cup. And it is possible, it is very possible that all of their troubles with goals going in is because they are playing their rival team, which is the LA Kings, and both teams, like teams in NFL divisions, are built to beat each other. Just seems to be Edmonton always wins. In this case, one team is the Ravens, one team is the Browns. Sorry, guys. Don't mean to be mean, but that's 0-4 against the Oilers. 4-0 for the Oilers in the playoffs, and the playoffs are where the wins matter. HGS family, I also got something else I want you to check out here. This is my new logo. It's my new Trash Panda. I want you guys to name it down below. For the rest of these videos, I'm going to put them up, and I want names in the comments. I'm going to pick my favorite 3 to 5, and in the finals, when the Oilers might be there, I'm going to go ahead and put a poll out for all 4 to 7 games to be voted on, and I want you guys to pick the name. So I'm going to pick the top 3 or top 5. Subscribe, like. You have to be subscribed. You have to like this video to put a name down. So thumbs up, subscribe. It's free. If I like your name, I'll pick it, and I'll put it in the rotation. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate you having on here. Oiler Nation, Kings fans, it's been fantastic seeing you this year. We'll see you again in the off season. Have a great one. Get ready, Vegas.